Please respond. So what do you mean by velocity? So simple formula if you take. So what is velocity? Velocity is equals to what? Instead of distance, we can take what? Displacement by time. Is it a so displacement by time. So as we all know, displacement means always will mention a particular direction. Yes or no? So Harish is moving towards to the north. Harish is moving towards to the east or west or south. So we'll mention always displacement means a particular direction. So that is what velocity means. Displacement by time. So you can mention displacement means s only, and time means what, guys? Time means what? T only, and velocity means the same symbol. But sir, what is the difference between the formula of then velocity and speed? So velocity, speed, what we are going to do? Speed, no discussion of time, no discussion of direction. Is it yes or no? Yes, please respond. So no direction. So that is what speed we used to call it as vector or scalar quantity. It is scalar quantity. Scalar quantity. So only we are talking about magnitude. So no direction at all. So that is what we used to call it as. So any example of speed, for example, I will say Gokul is moving 50 km per hour. This is what we used to call it as. What we used to call, guys? Speed. Yes or no? So why it is called as speed? Because only it is talking about 50 km per hour is the magnitude. So nowhere we are talking about the direction. Now I will say, let me take Reddy is traveling 50 km per hour towards to east. Then what is this called as? Towards to east. Velocity. Then this is called as velocity. So why it is called as velocity, guys? Because Reddy is traveling in a particular direction. So if it is traveling with a particular direction, then that is known as velocity. If no direction is mentioned, then that is called as what? Speed. You understand? That is a major difference between velocity and speed. But both the formulas is what? Harish? Both the formulas is? Do you understand it? Both velocity and speed both are same, but velocity we can say what? Displacement by time. But speed, what we can say, guys? Speed is equals to what? Distance by time. Clear? Distance by time. So this is the major difference between velocity and speed. You might be understand. So velocity, we are talking about both magnitude and as well as direction. So what is this quantity? Magnitude and direction, both we are talking. So that what is quantity called as? This one is called as vector quantity. What is that? Vector quantity. Vector quantity. Why it is called as vector quantity? We are talking about both. Because it has both magnitude and direction. Direction. So that is why it is called as vector quantity. Is it okay, everybody? Yes, please respond. So that is what you have to remember. So if it comes to the mathematical formula, then both it is the same formula. That is V is equals to S by T. So S means what? Either distance or displacement. So both are different or same. Velocity and the speed. Velocity and speed. Velocity and speed both are same or different? It is different. Understand? But you remember, generally whenever we are using in this chapter, instead of speed I can say velocity, or velocity I can say speed. Both you have to take it as a velocity only. You understand? Why? Always we are studying in how many? What is the chapter name? The chapter name? Motion in one dimension. One dimension. You understand? So particular one. So wherever I can say speed or velocity, both you can consider as a speed or velocity alone. It's not an issue. Okay. So that is what you have to remember. So now this is what velocity. So velocity definition already written. Yes or no, guys? Yes. Now. Yes, units of velocity. Can anybody say units of velocity? CGS unit. CGS unit. Danishkar? Centimeter per second. Centimeter per second, or we can say here centimeter second inverse. Same way, what is the SI unit of velocity? Danishkar? You have to speak. Arun Kailash? SI unit of velocity? Meter per second. Meter per second, or we can say meter second inverse. Okay. So both the same. Speed also same units. Have you checked it, guys? Speed also same unit or not? Yes, please respond. That is what you have to remember. So speed also same and velocity also same. So that is what you kindly need to remember. Units also same, but what is the only difference? In speed, no direction is talking, but in velocity, we are talking about what? We're talking about what?
Direction and magnitude.
We're talking about direction and as well as magnitude. So this is the two things which you have to remember. Now, if you remember these two things, then we will go types of velocity. What is that, guys? Types of velocity.
Types of
Please all of you keep heading. So, if you notice it, you want 3 types or 4 types
3 types, sir.
3 types.
of velocity. So now, if you need 3 types, only you know 3 types, but actually we can say even 4 types of velocity. So let it be. The first type of velocity, which is already we are very familiar. So that is only which to called as, what is that? Anybody?
Uniform velocity.
Uniform velocity. So please make it. So what is the first one? Uniform velocity. So again, same definition. So uniform motion, uniform speed. Now we are studying about uniform velocity. Can anybody say the definition? You have to communicate and you have to speak. Open your mouth. Danishkar and Gokul also. So uniform motion I taught. Uniform speed I taught. Now uniform velocity. Can anyone say uniform velocity?
Sir, if a body travels equal distance in equal interval of time, sir.
That is, but equal distance in equal interval of time is called as uniform motion and uniform
So,
speed.
equal displacement in equal interval of time.
Very good, Arun Kailash. Very good, Arun Kailash. So, who said this? Arun Kailash only, correct? So here,
Sir, Harish, sir.
Harish, very good. So now if you notice it, if you are taking the uniform motion and uniform speed, we are saying what? Equal distance in equal interval of time is called as uniform motion or uniform speed. Both it is the same definition. Now, here velocity means what, guys? Velocity means what? Velocity means displacement. Yes or no? So we are not supposed to use distance word. What we'll use? If a body is said to be in uniform velocity, if it undergoes what? Equal displacements in equal interval of time. That's all. Understanding? Equal displacements in what?
Equal interval of time.
Equal displacements. Equal displacements in equal interval of time. So why we are using displacement here, Gokul? Why we are using displacement?
Sir, velocity is a displacement, sir.
No, velocity is not a displacement. Why we are using displacement here? Because velocity is having what? Both magnitude and as well as direction. That is why it is which quantity? It is which quantity, guys? Danishkar?
Vector quantity.
Vector quantity. Do you understanding? So it is the vector quantity. So that is why we are using what? More. It is the displacement in equal interval of time. Equal displacements in equal interval of time. We used to call it as uniform velocity. Is it okay, guys? Yes, please respond. So this uniform velocity, do you understand it? So also we can call it as constant velocity. What we used to call? Constant velocity.
Velocity.
It is also called as uniform velocity. Remember that. So constant velocity also we can call it as what? Uniform velocity. So that is what you can remember. So constant velocity or uniform velocity, both are same. So now, for example, sir, what is the example of this constant velocity? So now, let me take now, this is the Danishkar. Now, Danishkar is traveling in this straight line. How he is traveling, guys? How he is traveling?
Straight line.
Straight line. Understand? Straight line with a constant speed or velocity. For example, A to B, A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, always equal distance and equal interval of time. Do you understanding, everybody? So it is distance not. What is this? Displacement. Why? He is traveling in a straight line, particular direction. Particular direction he is traveling, so that we can say it is a distance or displacement. It is a distance or displacement. It is displacement. So we can say if any body is traveling, understanding, a particular specified direction in a straight line and moves equal distances in equal interval of time, no matter how small the time interval, then that is called as a body is in which motion, Harish? A body is in uniform motion, or we can say uniform velocity, or we can say constant velocity. You understand? That is what you have to remember. So now, this is the what is velocity. So velocity means what, guys? A body is said to be in uniform velocity or constant velocity. Then when it, we can say when it is traveling in a particular direction, or we can say specified direction in how equal distances in equal interval of time. Do you understand, everybody? Equal distance in
Sir, equal displacement, sir.
but every displacement is a distance only, correct? Okay. So already we mentioned specified direction, Harish. So already specified direction means it is the equal distance in equal interval of time. Do you understand, Harish?
Yes, sir.
That is what. So already we mentioned the direction means already it's become what? Already it is become which quantity? It is already become
Vector quantity.
vector quantity. So that we no need to mention about displacement again. So it is covering equal distance in equal interval of time. That is what we used to call as uniform velocity, or we can say what, guys? Constant velocity.
Constant velocity.
That is what you have to remember. Now, by two methods, we can change this velocity. How you can change? Anybody can tell me? So the velocity of the body can change by two methods. What is that? Suppose your speed increases, velocity will increases or not? Please respond. Velocity changed by two methods. Velocity changed by two methods. For example, Arun Kailash is traveling 50 km per hour starting. What is this called as? What is this called as? Speed.
Speed.
Now 50 become 100 km per hour. So that now speed is increases or decreases?
Increases.
Increases.
Same thing I can say. Arun Kailash is traveling 50 km per hour towards to east, and same 50 km per hour become 100 km per hour towards to east. Now, if speed is changes, velocity changing or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Please respond. Danishkar, understand? So why by increasing the speed, what we can increase? We can increase the velocity also.
Velocity.
Understand? So that is the first factor. So by changing the speed of a body, velocity also changes. What is that? By changing, ready? Are you understanding? Ready? By changing the speed of a body, will change the what? By changing the speed of a body, will change what, guys? Will change the velocity of a body. Do you understand, everybody? Everyone, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
next, second factor, you should tell me either right or wrong. Okay. So velocity can be changed by two methods. One is by what? By increasing the speed or by decreasing the speed. If you increase the speed, velocity also will change. If you decrease the speed, velocity also will change. Is it okay, guys? Harish, is it okay? Understand? Now, sir, I cannot talk because my mic is not working. Oh, okay, ready. No issues. Now, next you can see the second method. For example, see, this is the straight road. What is this road? Straight road. Do you understanding? Yes, please respond. Now,
Yes, sir.
imagine Harish is traveling here 10 km per hour. So what is this direction we used to call as east direction? Do you understanding? East direction. What is the velocity now? Tell me. What is the velocity here? What is the velocity of this boy? 10 km per hour towards to what, guys?
East.
Towards to east. Purima, anybody having doubt? What is the velocity of Harish now? 10 km per hour towards to east. Now, suddenly curve road comes. Now, he is moving towards to what direction, guys? Same speed. Speed is not changed. But what direction he is moving now? This is east direction. Now, this is what direction? Up. Up is what? North. Down is south. And this is east and this is west. Now, with the same speed before he is traveling towards to the east. Now, what direction he is moving?
North.
North direction he is moving. Is yes or no? Everybody respond. That is, so now I can say he is moving 10 kilometer per hour towards to north. Towards to north. When you are traveling in a curved road. Understanding? So now you tell me, this is also is to called as velocity. Is it yes or no? Yes,
Yes,
that is
sir.
well.
Sir.
Now, is it both this velocity and this velocity, both are same or different? That is what I want your
No,
answer.
sir.
Is it both are same?
No, sir.
No. Understanding? Both magnitude is same, but is it velocity same, guys? That is what my
No,
question.
sir.
No. So we can say the second method, by the time you can understand how we can change the velocity. How we can change the
By
velocity?
changing direction.
By changing the direction of a moving body. Do you understand it? So by changing the direction, we can change what, guys? By changing the
Velocity.
direction of a moving body, we can change the velocity. By direction of moving body, we can change the velocity. That is what you have to remember. Okay. Understanding, but speed is constant. Have you noticed it, everybody? Speed is remains constant. Speed is how much? Both the cases. Both the cases. What is the
10
speed?
kilometer per hour.
Speed is constant, remains constant. Understanding? So, but what is changing? Only direction is changing. By changing the direction of moving body, by keeping what? By keeping speed is constant. That is the second method. Is it okay, Harish?
Yes, sir.
Arun Kailash, Danishkar, and
Yes,
go.
sir.
Everybody. So that is what you have to remember very, very carefully. Now, one interesting fact I'm saying you will study, I will teach you. Velocity will become zero at certain case. Velocity will become what? 0 meter per second. Do you understand it? Some cases, but speed will become zero, but speed will never become zero. Never be zero. Is it okay? When the situation will come, I will explain. So keep it in mind that velocity will become zero in certain cases, but speed, what will happen, guys? Speed will never be zero anymore. Is it okay, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
that is what. Why, sir? Because velocity is having direction. So at particular direction, velocity will become zero. I will say you that when the situation will come. Now, you tell me, suppose if all you 5 members are traveling in a circular path, all of you, understanding? Now, all this, imagine you all 5 members are traveling in a circular path. Now, you tell me, everybody, I told you, travel with a speed. What is that, guys? Travel with a speed is equals to 20 meter per second. Now, what is your velocity? Anybody can tell me? What is your velocity? What is your velocity?
Sir, direction.
Yeah, same 20 meter per second, but you are in circular path. So circular path means every point the direction will change or not? Everybody,
Yes, sir.
every point the direction will keep on changes. So that velocity also what is happening? 20 meter per second. Direction is always keep on changing. Understanding? Direction is keep on changes. When you are in which motion? Keep on changes when you are in which motion, guys? Circular motion. Is it clear? When the body is in circular motion, speed may remains constant, but is it velocity is constant? Is it velocity is constant, guys? Please respond. Is it velocity constant, Danishkar? Danishkar,
No,
order.
sir.
Yeah, that is what you have to remember. So speed will never be zero, but velocity becomes zero in the certain cases. So these are the two methods how we can change the velocity of a body. How we can change the velocity of a body? By changing the speed of a body. Second one is what? By changing the direction of a moving body by keeping the speed constant. These are the two methods. Have you written, everybody? Make it fast. Ready? That's fine. So that is what you have to remember. Arun Kailash, have you understand? Harish?
Yes, sir.
That is very, very important,
sir.
Harish. Now that is what you have to remember. So now this is the first type of velocity. What is the first type of velocity, guys? Uniform velocity. Okay. Now we are going
All
to the
constant velocity.
second type of velocity. So from this we can say, is it speed and velocity? Is it always equal in magnitude? Is speed and velocity always equal in magnitude? Speed and velocity. Speed and
No, sir.
velocity is not always equal in magnitude. So speed and velocity is always varies. So that concept also we'll study. So they are always not equal in magnitude. Do you understand? So now that we will discuss it, it's not an issue. Now we are going to first let us finish types of velocity. So first type of velocity is completed. What is the first type of velocity? What is the first type
Uniform
of velocity? So first type of velocity is uniform velocity is over. So now uniform velocity over, then opposite one. What is that? Variable velocity.
Non-uniform velocity.
Non-uniform velocity, or we can say variable velocity. So both are same. Variable velocity, or we can say non-uniform velocity. Is it okay, everybody? So now, so what we can say the formula? Anybody can tell me? So velocity again same. In place of distance, we can keep what? Displacement. So when we can say body is said to be in variable velocity, anybody? Suppose, let me imagine Arun Kailas is traveling in this particular direction. Understanding? So specified direction is traveling, but what is variable velocity? Anybody? Specified direction is traveling, but one time understanding more distance, sometime less distance, sometime more distance, sometime less distance. Distance means displacement. Is it okay, Harish? Unequal
Yes, sir.
displacements in equal interval of time.
Equal interval of
Or equal displacements in unequal interval of time. We used to call it as what?
variable velocity.
Variable velocity. So you can say unequal displacements in equal interval of time. What we can say, guys? Unequal displacements. Unequal displacements in equal interval of time. Is it okay, guys? Or we can say what? Equal displacements. You should speak, I should not. Equal displacements in unequal interval of time. Is it clear? Everyone? That is what you have to remember. So that is what we used to call it as variable velocity. Is it clear, everybody? So here also specified direction. But what is happening? Distance and displacement and time is not equal for one point to another point. Understand, Gokul? Danishkar?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is what you have
Yes,
to
sir.
remember. So speed, what is variable speed? What is variable speed, guys? Non-uniform speed. Unequal distances in equal interval of time. But here what we are talking, unequal displacements in equal interval of time. That is what velocity will come. You have to use which word, Arun Kailash? You have to use the word called as displacement.
Displacement.
And if it is speed will come, what we have to use, guys? Speed means we have to use what? We have to use a word called as distance. That is what we have to remember. So velocity means displacement, speed means distance. You have to use it. That is what you have to remember. Any doubt, guys? Clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now I am going to teach you one very, very important thing, which is you are not studied anywhere, but I want to make you to teach. That is what I will make you. So that is what. So the third one, you all people can guess. What is the third one?
Average velocity.
Average velocity. Very good. Average velocity. So you can write. Third one. Let it be finished. That later I will teach you other thing. So this is called as average velocity. What we used to call, guys? Average velocity. Okay. Now if you take average velocity means you can understand. What do you mean by average velocity? Total displacement divided by total time taken. That's all. Correct or not? So you can take Gokul, can you tell me what is the average speed formula? That is
The total,
average speed.
the total distance by total speed, sir.
Total distance divided by total speed, not total distance divided by total time taken. Yes or no?
Time taken.
Yeah, that is what. So average speed, understanding V average speed is equals to total distance divided by total time taken. That is what, boy, you have to remember. Now we are using average velocity. Average velocity means what will come from formula? Harish?
Total displacement,
Total
sir.
displacement. Do you understand it?
By
So
total time
total
taken.
displacement divided by what will come? Total time taken. That is what you have to remember. So now, so if you take example, what will come? For example, A to B, B to C, and C to D. If you take, this is the displacement one. So all which is particular specified direction. Let me imagine direction towards to the what? Direction to east. Okay, east. So you can take, this is S1, this is S2, this is S3. So A to B, B to C, C to D, and time is T1 and T2 and T3. So now what we can get? Average velocity formula. Average velocity, what is the formula we'll get? Total distance means S1 plus displacement S2 plus S3 divided by T1 plus T2 plus T3. So this is what? Average velocity. So average velocity means what, guys? We can say formula. It is the ratio of total displacement divided to the total time taken. Please write it. It is the what? It is the ratio of total displacement. Total displacement to the total time taken. Everyone clear? Write it now. Total displacement to the total time taken. Any doubt, Harish? Everybody? Please respond. That is what you have to remember. Clear, everyone? So this is what we used to call as average velocity. So now you tell me, average velocity is also vector quantity or scalar quantity? Average velocity also. Average velocity is also what? Average velocity also what is? It is
Vector
the
quantity.
vector quantity. Why? We are mentioning the direction still. Have you noticed it? Yeah, still we are mentioning the direction. So we can say average velocity is also vector quantity. But average speed what? Average speed.
Scalar quantity.
Speed I am asking.
Scalar quantity.
It is the scalar quantity. Why? No direction is mentioned, but here we are using the direction. That is what you have to remember. So till here, any doubt, anybody you can ask me. So kindly finish it here. If you understand this, then I will tell you the last type of velocity, which is very, very useful for us in future also, and you will be always makes you a little special from the others. Okay, so that is what we will study now. So shall we study that? Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So till here completed, any doubt? Please tell me. So three types of velocity I taught. One is what? Uniform velocity. Second one is what? Variable velocity. Third one is what? Average velocity. So now, if you want to change the velocity, you are having two methods. What is the two methods, guys? Velocity changing. Velocity we can change by two methods. What is that? By changing the speed. And second one is what? By changing the direction of a moving body. But somebody should be constant. Who is that? Speed should be constant. Understanding? Speed is constant and direction is changing, so that velocity will change. So now the last type of velocity is called as, it is very simple, that is only instantaneous velocity. What we used to call? Instantaneous velocity. So please all of you write. Instantaneous, T-A-N-E-O-U-S. Instantaneous velocity. I-N-S-T-A-N-T-A-N-S-T-A-N-T-A-N-U. Instantaneous velocity. Is it okay, guys? Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Now, for example, what do you mean by instantaneous velocity means? Try to understand very carefully. It is very, very simple. Okay. So, instant. What do you mean by instant in English? Anybody can tell me? What do you mean by instant? Please respond. What do you mean by instant?
Sir, like now only it is finished, sir.
For example, in this full class, at that instant, what happened? For example, 10 minutes before, at that instant, what I taught you? At that instant, what I taught you, how we can change the direction of speed, velocity. Is it yes or no? At that time, 6:45, I taught you velocity changed by how we can change the velocity. What is the methods of changing the velocity? Is it yes or no? Yes. Now, here also, instant means a small interval of complete journey. For example, you can take, this is what, let me take now Arun Kailash. Okay. Now, Arun Kailash is traveling from A to B. From where to where, guys? From A to B. So, this is what total journey of him. So this is what total journey. This totally what we used to call displacement. Is it yes or no, guys?
Displacement.
Total is called as displacement. Now the total time taken, what we can call total is, this is the time taken. So now what is the velocity? Can tell me what is the velocity of now Arun Kailash? So we can say velocity is equals to total displacement, understanding, divided by time taken. Is it yes or no, guys? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Now, at the particular point, from this point to this point, if we take at that instant, do you understanding? Arun Kailash, Danishkar, this is the total velocity of the Arun Kailash. Now, at a particular moment, if we'll select, do you understand, everybody? At a particular moment, if we'll select. So, this is a part of total displacement. Yes or no, Harish?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now see, for example, total displacement is 1 kilometer and total time taken is 1 hour. Now, in this 1 hour, at particular distance, for example, 200 meters to 300 meters, it is a part of 1 kilometer. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Time also if will take 20 minutes to 30 minutes. It is the particular instant. At that time, what is the velocity if we'll calculate? That velocity only what we used to call, guys? Instantaneous velocity. At a particular part of a journey, if we take a total journey, total velocity, particular part if you are measuring at a given instant, then that is called as what we used to call, guys? Instantaneous velocity. It is the velocity of the particle at a given instant. Understand? So Arun Kailash can travel with some velocity across the journey, but I want Harish, tell me at this point, see what is the velocity of Harish. At this point, what is the velocity of Arun Kailash? So at that instant, whatever the velocity of the body is there, that is what we used to call as what? Instantaneous velocity. Do you understand, everybody? Please respond. So
Yes, sir.
it is a given instant. At a particular instant, whatever the velocity of the body, whatever the body is possessing the velocity, that velocity is called as instant velocity. So please kindly write it. It is the velocity of the particle at a given instant. It is what? It is the velocity of a particle. Ready? Have you understand? Ready, Tanishkar? Gokul?
Yes, sir.
The velocity
Yes,
of a
sir.
particle at a given instant. At a given instant. So till here you can write it. Given instant. I-N-S-T-A-N-T. Instant. So now this is what it is. So now if we'll take here, sir, how to represent then instantaneous velocity? What is the difference between velocity, means uniform velocity, and instantaneous velocity? That is what we will discuss now. So now till here you please write it. Now if you'll notice it, so instantaneous velocity means, so it's a particular part at a particular moment in a total velocity. Is it yes or no, guys? As I told you. So when Arun Kailash is traveling from A to B, at that particular point C, what is the velocity of him is called as instantaneous velocity. If we'll measure the velocity at the particular point D, then that is called as instantaneous velocity. So at that particular point, so instantaneous velocity, how we can represent means, observe very carefully. Total displacement, how we can represent, Harish? Total displacement we can represent with what? Yes. Yes or no? And total time taken, how we can represent? How we can represent? T. Yes or no? So if it is a total distance, yes, we can represent. And if it is total time, we are representing with the T. Is it okay, guys? Please respond. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And if it is, for example, see, you have a 1 kg cake. Now, total cake means what we can say, total weight is 1 kg. Now, particular part alone, particular part means we can cut this piece and we can measure it. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Same way, in a total velocity, we are taking at a particular point, at a particular instant, so that at that particular instant, the displacement will represent with the delta S, and at particular time period, the delta T. So this is what we used to call it as instantaneous velocity. So instantaneous velocity will represent with the up arrow. So this is the formula for instantaneous velocity. What is the formula? This one? Instantaneous velocity. So this symbol, what we used to call, guys? The symbol is called as delta. What we used to call? Delta S. Understand? So delta S divided by delta T. This is what we used to call as instantaneous velocity. So delta S is the change in the displacement in a small interval of time. That is what we can say. So what do you mean by delta S? Change in the displacement. Now it's not arrow, guys, just a line. Okay, velocity arrow and delta S, it is the line. So what do you mean by delta S, guys? Delta S means what? Change in the velocity. Change in velocity